I just had a baby son and I decided to name him Giganotosaurus. Said absolutely nobody ever. Besides apparently someone named Trisha Paytas. Now, I don't know who this person is personally. I'm not in media or entertainment a lot of the time. I just kind of follow it here and there, maybe some movies when I so desire. But she didn't name her son Giganotosaurus. She went a step further. At least Giga sounds intimidating. You hear Giga and you're like, man, shiver me timbers all of a sudden, and it's just crazy. But instead, she named her son Aquaman. So apparently, she wants her son to be like King of the Sea or something like that, or maybe she wants him to grow up and be Jason Momoa, or who knows? Like this is such a strange name. Now I understand people will name people after TV shows or movies that they really enjoy. I think like maybe a name like Anakin could be cool. I would 100% be friends with a guy named Anakin and be like, man, Star Wars is sick, and he probably watches Star Wars every single day with his parents or something like that. But Aquaman, and I'm assuming this Trisha person is famous from my understanding. So you're basically having a child who might watch the Aquaman movie one time ever, by the way, maybe twice, named Aquaman. Why'd you name me Aquaman? Oh, I love Jason Momoa. Kind of a creepy obsession. Like, because I guarantee you, before he became Aquaman, this would have never happened. Not saying that he's a bad Aquaman, he's great. It's just, in general, I don't think anybody would have named their baby Aquaman before this. Because Aquaman, he is just like, he's a good superhero for what he is meant for, right? But outside of that realm, it's very hard for him to be a hero, like just in general, and that's why he gets downplayed a lot of the time. Is because they don't show his feats, they don't show what he can really do, and I think Jason Momoa really represents that. It's just weird, man. It's weird, and people like this never understand how social settings work. Like they just think like, yeah, let me name my kid whatever. I'll name him Banjo, and like my other kid's name he'll be Kazooie or something like that. And well, they're my favorite games. Why shouldn't I name them after them? It's just something like so strange about it. Because it's not like, oh, you watch The Office and you're like, man, I really like that guy's name from The Office. That's like a real name, like Jim or something like that. You're like, okay, well, yeah, I like The Office. I'll name him Jim. It still represents something that I love, but it's also something that, it is real and represented in the world, and he won't get made fun of for. Aquaman, bro, I can imagine the insults now. Don't mess with Aquaman. Aquaman smells like fish. Um, Aquaman, why are you here? You're supposed to be in the ocean. I mean, bro, I'm not that good at insults. I'm just not. I'll be honest, but I can just imagine how bad this is gonna get, like real quick. They're gonna have to put him in like private school, or they're gonna have to homeschool him. And it's not saying that the world can't handle someone named Aquaman, but as someone who grew up, and hopefully everybody else, it kind of had some similar experiences. If you have like some strange value or something like that, it's probably going to get poked fun at. Now, there is people who overcome it, and it's just something that makes you a little bit stronger. But it's hard to overcome something when it's constant, right? You know, so like for me, for a long time, I'm a ginger. You guys can kind of see the orange or what reflect off the light a little bit. But people made fun of me for my orange hair. People called me names for it. People, made fun of me for it, whatever it was. But after a while, people were like, yeah, it's just hair. Who cares? Where something like Aquaman, people will judge him his entire life. No matter what, no matter how good looking he might end up becoming, no matter how successful he is, no matter his hair color, eye color, race, gender, whatever it is, when you introduce yourself, hi, I'm Aquaman, they're gonna be like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean you're Aquaman? I'm Batman. How about that? like I don't know. It's just ridiculous. And apparently, someone spoke out about this. The guy who's been working on the new Superman movie, which is James Gunn, and he talks about how basically he also had troubles with his name growing up as well, of being Gunn, obviously, or James Gunn, not a real gun. It's a name. So yeah, like he had problems, and I guarantee he did. Like there's just people in this world, kids and adults in general, where you introduce that as your name, and they're gonna be like, "Strange name. You changed it to that yourself? Oh, so you like that type of stuff? You like firearms? Like I guarantee you, there's people like that. I like all of the time. So Aquaman is gonna be way worse. So you like fish? You love the ocean, don't you? I bet you smell like fish. I bet you have gills. Like, dude, it's just so crazy that parents don't think about the bullying aspects before having kids. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's something that I think about like fairly often. I guess is what would you want to do when you have kids to make it where they get bullied the least? And like obviously you can teach them to stand up for themselves and stuff like that, but I'm not talking about that. I mean, how can you eliminate certain things? It'd be like if someone named their son like Richard, but they went by like the nickname for Richard. If you know it, the DICK. I don't think I can say it on YouTube. So yeah, but it's just so strange. I don't know. Parents need to do better. Stop naming your kids wacky stuff because you're obsessed with Jason Momoa. That's my advice. Have a wonderful night. Peace.